Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to Uniquely Made, where we do things uniquely different. And today is Setback Tuesday. Oh Lord. So, I usually make this on Wednesday, and it's still gonna go out on Wednesday. I just felt like making it today while everything is fresh on my mind, so that tomorrow I don't forget it. Right. So, it's still gonna go out on Wednesday. So, if you're watching this, it's Wednesday. But anyway, so if you paid attention to my story on my Uniquely Fit page, then you know that I'm taking Zepbound. I like to do a weekly recap every week. I'm in my fifth week as of Monday, yesterday. Which now is confusing because I'm putting this on Wednesday. But as of Monday, I'm in my fifth week. So I did my weigh-in. I was out of town, so I couldn't do my regular shot on Monday, so I had to wait till Tuesday to do my shot. Wasn't able to step on the scale, so I did all that once I got back home to my house. So, saying all that to kind of preface, and if you have like questions, I was kind of curious, like, what if I missed the date that I'm actually supposed to be taking my shot? The directions say that that's fine. You can do that as long as it's not past 4 days. If it's past 4 days, just wait till your next shot day. But if it's within 4 days of you missing the day that you set, then you're fine. So, 1 day off. So I took it Tuesday. So I stepped on the scale as always, and I was a little bit later than normal because usually I'm just getting up in the morning. My tank is empty, like there's nothing going on. I haven't eaten, I haven't drinking. Only thing I've done is check my blood pressure because I have to do that every morning. I got to check my blood pressure, and I got to send a report to my doctors so they can make sure that the blood pressure medicines that they have me on is working. That's a whole nother story. That's part of the reason I'm on the GLP-1s, because your boy blood pressure was the systolic and the diastolic. Did I say that right? I probably didn't, but y'all know what I mean. The top and the bottom were whoop, 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 whoop. I was over 100 on the bottom, and I was plus 170 on the top. So it wasn't looking good. Your boy was pre-diabetic. You know what I'm saying? My numbers. It's funny because all of my numbers look good except my testosterone. My testosterone numbers they was horrible. The lowest my testosterone numbers was 187, and the highest they've been is 230 something. So my numbers are trash as far as when it comes to testosterone. But everywhere else, because I did a full blood workup, everywhere else is great across the board. Outside of being pre-diabetic, I think I'm close to like a 5 or 6 or something when it comes. I think it's A1C is what they call it. To when it comes to that. So I was like, maybe that's why I need a little bit of help. And that's why I ended up getting on the GLP-1s after I started taking the blood pressure medicine to try to get some numbers down, to try to regulate. Because your boy, man, I was out here having panic attacks. I was out here having, I thought I was having heart attacks. I was going to the doctor. I want to say the last 2 years has been real scary because I didn't know what was going on, and the doctor's telling me, nothing wrong with your heart, blah blah blah. Like, something's wrong because I feel like my stuff beating out my chest, but it wasn't. It was my blood pressure, which was causing my GERD, or my GERD was causing my blood pressure, or my sinuses. You know what I'm saying? Because I had sinusitis surgery, so it was something, and it was causing everything to go out of whack, and it was almost like seasonal. Like, I would be fine for most of the year, and then it'd be that one part of the year where I just got and I was like, come on, I don't know what this is. And I think the kicker for me was I was laying on the couch one day, and all of this was just going ham. It was hurting, and I got up, and I ended up throwing up blood. And I was like, okay, I need to see what's going on. They said my heart was still fine. My heart was great, but my blood pressure was on up and on up. I think it was like 170 something over like 102. Yeah, wasn't good. So I'm on the blood pressure pills, stuff like that. So now I got to send a report every morning so they can monitor, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so long story short, or long story longer, that's usually my routine on Mondays. Well, every morning, but on Mondays when I do my weigh-in is I'll check my blood pressure, I'll weigh in, and then I'll take the shot. So I get up, there's nothing on my stomach. You know what I'm saying? I just slept, my food didn't digest because I slept through the night. I try not to eat like super duper late. And like I said, let's just like some popcorn because I told you guys I've been having cravings. Put a pin in that because we're coming back to it. So that's where that was. So I was like, all right, cool. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I felt myself gaining weight. I was like, man, I feel kind of uncomfortable. I feel like I done put back on. I feel like I done put on some pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I knew something was off because I think I told you before. If you watch my journey, I've been telling you my cravings have been coming back, and like my food noise. Put a pin in that because we're coming back to that too. My food noise seems like it's coming back, right? So anyway, I stepped on the scale, and I told y'all last week in week 4, I was down to 272 pounds. Now, mind you, I went out of town Friday. I went to Atlanta, chilled with my little cousin, and I just came back on today. I just came back on today is Tuesday, so I came back today this morning, and then I had to go do like a photo shoot. But as soon as I hopped out the car, I had been sitting in the car driving for like 5 miles. I was bloated, like beyond repair. So when I got home, I had a movement, and which my movements have been good. You know what I'm saying? Like, my movements haven't really been like crazy or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily think I'm having constipation issues, but maybe I need to look up the definition of what actually consists of being constipated, because maybe I'm misunderstanding that wrong. So maybe you can still be having movements, but still be constipated. I'm going to look that up before we finish this conversation today. So anyway, so I knew I was feeling like overly bloated, but Monday night, my little cousin just got back from Portugal, but she's getting ready to go to Thailand, and she just had a birthday April 1st. So I was like, yo, I want to celebrate your birthday with you, you know, and chill with you before you go out of the country. So I was already full, people. I was already full. Like, I could feel the fullness, but my body was still like, go ahead and eat. So I got some, not much, but I still got some food to eat. Not a lot, but I still got a little bit, even though I was already full. Now, that's really the first time that has happened since I've been on the Zepbound. Now, as I stated to y'all before, it felt like it was a hard shut off for me. And then I think in middle of week 3 is when I told y'all the food noise is coming back a little bit. I was feeling full, but there wasn't necessarily a hard shut off going on. And towards the end of the week, when it was ready for my next cycle, it seemed like the medicine had worn off. So this is Monday when I'm supposed to take the shot. I hadn't taken the shot because I'm out of town. So usually Sundays when I feel like that. So we're 2 days from taking the shot that we haven't taken the shot at the end of a week cycle. So I'm like really feeling like, oh, okay. So I ate, right? So I think that even though I ate like 8 o'clock, it still stayed with me. I still was feeling real bloated. I'm still feeling bloated now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Even though the movement was fine, I'm not feeling as bloated as I was this morning, but I'm still feeling bloated now. And it is, what is that? It's almost 7:15 at night. So, and this is from, I left about 8 o'clock this morning. So when I woke up, I was feeling bloated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still, like I said, I had a movement. So I wasn't feeling as bloated then, but I'm still feeling, I'm not feeling as bloated as I was then, but I still feel a little bloated. Like, I still got stuff this lodged in my system. And I know this is TMI, but this is part of the conversation. This is why you guys here. These are the things that y'all want to know. So I said I stepped on the scale. It said 282 pounds. So I put back on 10 pounds. Now, most of the time when I weigh in too, I am in the lightest clothes that I can wear. Pair of shorts, maybe a shirt. I'm wearing some heavy jeans, and I had on a different shirt, right? The same shirt that y'all see in the video from YouTube. From my Fit page. So really not that heavy, but the jeans, they're probably a little heavy. So I don't know how much of that is contributing to the weight, and I don't know how much of me sitting for 5 hours driving is also contributing to the actual weight of me just sitting sedentary driving for like 5 hours. So I may reweigh in the morning. I don't know. Maybe I just like, boom, you know what? I'm not going to stress it because I ain't going to lie. Seeing that number was very, very, very discouraging. But was it defeated? Not at all. Not at all. I will not let this setback defeat me from the goal that I have or where I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? What can I learn from this? What can I take from this? That's what has to happen next. I have to be able to learn something from gaining these 10 pounds. And I don't even know if they're real pounds, to be honest with you, right? From gaining these pounds back, what could I have done differently moving forward? One thing that I think could be the issue is, remember how I told you guys, they asked me if I wanted to go up to 5, and I said, no, I'm going to stay on 2.5. I think I should have went up to 5. Because I think what's happening here is my body is getting used to 2.5. My body is like, oh, we know what this is. Hey, and we're not faded by it, brother. We're not faded by it. As a matter of fact, we going to bring everything back and harder. Because when I tell you, my food noise came back, it came back with a vengeance. Like, I was literally wrestling with myself on the inside. Like, nah, bro, go eat. I'm like, no, I'm full. Nah, look, I said, go eat. You know, like it was like really a fight in these last couple of days. And when I was driving to Atlanta on Friday, once again, this could be from me sitting down, but I was literally having that mental fight in my head as far as like food and stuff. Cause I was thinking about food like heavily. And I was having that mental fight in my head, and it's almost like a release went through my body. Like a surge of release went through my body. I could literally feel it. It's almost like when I told y'all before when I had that 30-second suicidal depression thought. And it was like something popping or like a stove overrunning. It was almost the same thing, but it was with the food noise. And it was just like whoosh. Right? Just leaving and whatnot. So now, you know, and I don't know if that had anything to do with how I felt about eating this weekend, because I was having a good time. I ain't gonna lie. I was eating all kind of stuff I really didn't need to be eating. As much of it as I wanted to. That's, you know what I'm saying? And my sugar craving came back. I think I went through, don't judge me, 3 bags of candy. I had me some Mike and Ike's, had me some sour worms, and I also had some of the I can't think of what they're called, but they're sour, and they got the little people, the ones that look like people. I forget what those are called, but they're sour, right? So I had a bag of them too, and I drank a big, huge thing of soda, which I hadn't been doing. I was allowing myself, if I had like a sweet tea, 1 sweet tea or 1 soda a day, and I don't really drink soda like that. So the soda I'm talking about is like a Sprite or a root beer, right? Because I don't really do caffeines. And before you come from me, Sprite and root beer don't have caffeine in it. Or I was doing sweet tea. Now that does have caffeine, but that's my guilty pleasure. So I was doing like 1, and then I was surrounded by at least 100 ounces of water. So I will honestly say last week, I got away from my 100 ounces of water per day. I went crazy on the sodas. I went crazy on the sweets. I went crazy on the food. And all of this is because I have not built the discipline or the willpower within myself to say, hey, you don't need that. So the moment that the medicine wasn't doing what it needed to do, I went right back to those old habits per se. So I think that I needed to go up. So this next month is going to be interesting on the 2.5. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens. I'm just going to have to be more diligent, and I'm going to have to be a little bit more strict on myself to make sure that I don't allow myself to have any more setbacks. Like, I don't need to hop on the scale and it say 292 next week. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you guys before, in the past, I've lost weight. I even got down to 190, but then I ballooned right back on up. Right. And then I was 10 pounds, 5 pounds, boom, boom, and it was a constant yo-yo. So to have this GPL1, this Zepbound aid, and the same thing is happening is a little bit discouraging. I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot discouraging because I'm like, well, dang, you know what I'm saying? But that just goes to show you nothing is a miracle cure. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you treat the process, right? You can give somebody the tools, but if you don't treat the process the way the process needed to be treated, it don't matter what tools you have on the journey because they're not going to work. So that's good. It's a lesson learned. It's learned early. If they say, hey, you need to go up, then go up. And they actually didn't say that. They gave me a choice. So they didn't pressure me and say, oh, you need to go up. But because we're being honest. Can I be honest with y'all? Can I be transparent? Okay. Because I'm in a territory, in a space that is unfamiliar to me, and I am a little scared of what I'm taking to, I'm like, man, I don't want to rush the process. Because my other thought is like, man, this thing goes all the way up to 15 that people can put into their body. How much is too much? GLP-1s are naturally in our body, right? For like insulin resistance, okay? So when your insulin is not responding, then the extra GLP-1 in your body helps to wake that up and say, hey, look, boom, you need to respond because you're not responding, right? So that's what it does. But how much is too much? That is the question, right? So like, how much GLP-1 is too much to put into your body to where your body is like, that's why you can't just start on 15. You start on 15, you're going to be sick as a dog. You start on 5, you're probably going to be sick as a dog, right? So they have to ease you into this thing. So my body might actually be cool at the 7.5, I believe it is, right? It might be cool, but I don't know that. But I'm too scared to get there because I don't want to put too much in my body that I don't need to be there and end up harming myself because I'm going overboard, or I'm just getting too overzealous about getting this weight off my body. And, you know what I'm saying, too excited about seeing who this brand new me is. So that's the thing that I'm kind of like, oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? But I also have to say, hey, I got to let this thing do its thing. And I think my body will tell me like, pause, bro. Slow down. I think my body will tell me that, and I have to listen to my body. But I cannot be scared to make the necessary moves, right? So I think that's where I'm at right now, and I'm learning that lesson, and I'm glad that I'm learning it early. I'd rather learn it early than have a setback and I'm 5 to 6 months down the road. Because that would really be discouraging. That's the kind of stuff to just knock you right off the block and be like, you know what? Bump it, man. It doesn't work. I'm defeated. I knew it. And then all them other voices and all the other things that came in and said, oh, it's not going to work. This is not going to work. You start hearing all the noise from the outside. You know what I'm saying? And it starts to affect you. Because I'll be honest with you, most people that are taking this drug, or most people who are battle with weight issues, or most people who, you know what I'm saying, need help losing weight and are not necessarily, I'd be careful when I say this, not necessarily self-driven. Because let's be honest, if you got to get a trainer, go by anybody else's program, follow somebody on social media, or do whatever, you're not necessarily a self-starter. It just means you need help, and that's fine. That is okay. Too many times in life, we have too much pride not to ask for help, and then we end up getting left on the wayside or left behind because we did not ask for help. Sometimes it's okay to say, hey, I need a hand to get started. And then once we get started, we leaving everybody else behind, because all we needed was, as they say in the military, sometimes that good swift kick in the butt, good swift kick in the pants, to get us motivated, to get us started, to get us going, to get us like, that's all I had to do? Is that easy? Because sometimes something this small seems this big, and it's so overwhelming, and we don't know where to start. And then once we get the tools or somebody helps us, we're like, oh, I was tripping over something that small, and now we know how to tackle it. You know what I mean? So sometimes when we have that type of mentality, whenever we have a setback, our mental starts to play games with us, because it was already mental from the beginning. Not to say that there's not medical issues, because there very well could be, right? There could be medical things that you're dealing with, but there's also that mental side of it too that can hold you back more than anything. Sometimes your safe place is what's killing you, because you're too afraid to get outside of the box that you built for yourself, and you put this lid on top, and you're like, I'm comfortable here because I know exactly what to expect. Whether the lights are on or the lights are off, I know if I walk 2 feet, I'm walking into a wall. If I turn around and walk 2 feet the other way, I'm walking into a wall. I know that's there. So I have a 1 foot perimeter that I can walk in, so I don't walk into a wall. And we're too scared to lift the top off and see what else is around us, and maybe expand the world that we're living in, because we're scared of what comes next. We're scared of being successful because we don't know what that feels like, right? We don't know what success feels like. We don't know, but we know what failure feels like, because we've done it a lot. We you know what I'm saying? We know what bad decisions feels like because we've done it a lot, right? So sometimes it's about, I'm not going to allow my safe place to kill me anymore. And we got to be willing to kick the door down, blow the top off, and explore our surroundings. And we would be surprised at what it does for us. Be surprised at what it does for us, right? So now it's really all about me learning how to build new habits. It's learning how to have discipline. It's learning how to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, just self-check myself to say, I'm not depending on this drug to take this from me, but it's something that mentally I can do for myself, and the drug is just a help aid. So when I get to the end of the week, or if my body gets used to the doses that I'm taking, that I don't be like, man, let me go ham, right? So, and this is all stuff that I'm learning. This is all in the beginning, and I'm sure other people have run into this. If you haven't, let me know. If you have, let me know. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare yourself to the next person and what they're doing and what they've done and what they've lost and how it works for them. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that some of them are telling the story that best fits the internet. Just being real. And then some of them are telling a story that works for them. Everybody is not the same. Like I said, I've had no side effects outside of the GERD. That's not everybody else's story. Right? So that's where we are. That's where we are. We're discouraged, but we're not defeated. and we're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna figure out how to switch some things up. We're gonna figure out how to make some things happen. And when it's time to re-up to 5 point, we're gonna go to 5 point. And when it's time to re-up to 7, we're gonna go to 7. Right? We're not gonna overdo it if we don't need to overdo it. But we're also not gonna hold ourselves back from being the greatest version of ourselves. And that's a lesson learned. So that's it for this week, guys. That's the ups. That was the downs. That's what I went through this week and whatnot. And this is just the real raw version of what it's like for me being on Zepbound, GPL1. And like I said, if you got some comments, you got some tips, you got some concerns, you got whatever, hop in the comments. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has got to be a community. You know, whenever you do well, it's because you have a community. You have people that you can connect with, right? You can't just sit in the corner and hope to do things by yourself, because when you do that, when you get discouraged and you get lost, you don't have anybody to pull you out of that situation if you're not strong enough to do it for yourself. So let's build a community. I'm waiting for my GPL warriors to come on in. Let's do it. I see you guys next week on my Zepbound Monday on my Instagram, Uniquely Fit, and then we'll come over here on Wednesday for Uniquely Made, where we do things differently, and we'll see how the week went. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right, have a great one.